Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. So in this video, as you can tell by the title on your screen, we are going to be talking about our favorite show. Okay. Anyways, let's get right into it because you guys know how excited I am to talk about this. By the way, before I go ahead with this video, if you haven't seen the video that I made, which I just shared a little bit about the drama, just obviously at the very beginning, I'm gonna leave it linked up here. Also, I'm going to leave it down below, so please do check that out, just in case you're wondering if it's something you should watch or not. Yeah, let's get right into it. So the drama is over. Okay, so we obviously had to see what happened in episode 15 and 16. Okay, let's talk about the final episode. I really wish it could go on, you know, but 16 episode, I think it's really good because a lot of people don't really get into series, but if the episodes are not too long, I think people tend to gravitate towards it. So I think it's a good thing to just keep it at 16 episode. Okay, so obviously from episode 14, please, if you haven't started watching My Demon, go check it out. Okay, because some of you guys might be a little bit like lost, but if you have been following it obviously from episode 1 through to 16, then you will get what I'm trying to say. But I don't want to have to do a recap of the whole drama. Okay, but do check that first video that I put out there. Do you check it out? And I think that would just kind of give you like a bit of background about the drama. Okay, but for those of you who's been following and who has watched all the episodes, let's talk about the final episodes. Okay, so obviously the final episodes are 15 and 16, and obviously from episode 14, but we saw what happened to No, and I kid you not, I was fuming. Okay, I wasn't happy because I'm like, why would he die that way? Okay, somebody who's been cruel, who's been very evil. Okay, you don't want them to just die the way he died, like, you, because obviously if you saw, I'm gonna insert clips here and there just to obviously give you guys a bit of, you know, just kind of make it make sense for you guys. So we saw where Nu was trying to harm Do. So do he, okay, I don't know how to pronounce their name, but Didi, I call her Didi. Didi obviously is our lead character, our favorite girl. So he was trying to harm her, right? And luckily Guwon came along, which is the male lead character, and then obviously trying to save her. So, and then it turned to be Guwon trying to make him drop him down from that high, you know, building, you know, and I don't think that was the intention, but obviously the way he was behaving, you know, he fell, you know, and then died, and then the body disappeared. So that's literally what happened, how episode 14 ended. So now episode 15, obviously in 14 as well, we've had the background of how we found out that Go-on, which is the lead character, made a deal, okay, with Didi's parents. See, when it got to that point, I was like, whoa. And I kind of had it in mind that that would be the twist, because we weren't expecting that out of everybody, Didi's parents was also amongst them. So that was a shock already in that episode, because at that point in 14 I'm like, so why wouldn't he talk about it? Why wouldn't he mention it to Didi that, you know what, this happened, I made a deal with your parent at some point, and this and this and that. So I'm like, why would he not mention it, not knowing that he's still going to do that much later in 15? Because I was like, I'm not happy. Say something, bro. So but obviously that was not talked about at all in 14. So fast forward to 15, okay, episode 15. So we saw where obviously they broke up because she got to know, okay, she got to know about the deal, but mind you, he did not mention it, but she got to know, and then she started feeling distant. She started feeling a certain type of way, like, why would I be with somebody who killed my parents? Okay, so they broke up and they weren't together, and then Go-won, which is who was the lead character, was obviously saying it's best for us to just part way because, you know, I've not been the best person, blah 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 blah. And then even though it hurt, you know, for her to let him be by her side, she still wasn't having it. Like, I know you did this to my parent, but I still cannot let you go. So she was kind of torn between letting him stay and letting him go, okay? But obviously she wasn't in tune with her emotions. But the guy, the man, demon, said, yes, I just have to, you know, leave you alone. So that happened, and then, you know, throughout episode 15, you know, our girl wasn't herself. She was sad, you know, and all of that because the breakup happened. On the other side as well, she was dealing with, you know, the police investigation about the body, and obviously they found out that Nii, which is, you know, the person that obviously fell and died, was the person who has been committing all these atrocities. And they were able to like pinpoint, like, okay, this is the culprit, and the police were trying to find the body, you know, to see if they can make an arrest, you know, to see if he's still alive and all of that. So that was also going on the side. And also they kind of showed us the past. You guys remember I did mention that this was kind of similar to Destined with You, which is on Netflix, which is also a very good drama or series that you want to check out. Kind of similar because obviously they would show you the past and see how they were together in the past, and then they are not together in the future. And episode 15 was actually where Didi, you know, saw the whole dream. Like, because she would see like a bit of it, that she would see this dream of her in the past being with the guy. So anytime she is always like cut off, so she would just have a glimpse, but it will be cut off. But it was in 15 that everything got revealed to her, and then she saw that she was actually together with Go-won in the past as well, you know, and they had something together, like a bond, that kind of thing. So they showed us that as well in episode 15. So episode 15 was mainly her getting through the heartbreak, to her dealing with the parent, you know, dying because of Go-won, and also dealing with the fact that Nii's body wasn't found. And also the other side is obviously her having to see her past and then dealing with all of that. So that's mainly what happened in episode 15. But towards the end of episode 15, okay, which is like the main part, and I feel like the peak of the drama, was where we found out that Nii wasn't dead. For some reason he survived that fall, you know, and the only thing that happened to him was, I think he lost a part of his face, which was kind of like burnt. And so we just saw that she got kidnapped. Didi got kidnapped by him, okay? And that was really a shocker because we're like, okay, this man is dead, this man is out of the way. But that was a lie. That was literally the beginning. Okay, so he kidnapped her and then took her somewhere just to, you know, a secluded property. It was like an uncompleted building, and she was bound, and he was trying to then kill her. So they started talking, like, and then Nii was like, oh, you thought this and this and that, you know, and then they started, you know, going back and forth, and then before we know it, this man appeared, you know, Go-won came obviously again to save her, and they started playing all the songs, K-dramas, like all those love songs. That gets me every time. So they started playing music like, oh, he's here, the savior is here, and all of those things. And bruh, like the next minute we just saw, I think one of the things that I remembered is the fact that he came to save her. And then why? Because, okay, so the thing is, one of the what's that thing called? So one of the things that he is not allowed to do is to kill a human. So he's not allowed that. So if he does that, and I think he's in that manual, because we got to find out that that was actually in the manual. So one of the things he's not allowed to do is to kill a human. And if he does, then he will go through that combustion, which obviously we've been trying to avoid. So and the only way in that scene that he could actually save her was to kill him. So Didi was like, oh, don't kill him, leave him alone, blah, blah, blah. But he was mad. He was like, no, I'm going to kill this man, even if that would cost me my life, But anyway, he just kind of like did that fire thing. And that made Nii to become unconscious. I thought he was dead, But he actually became unconscious. And in my head, I'm like, okay, this is the time for you guys to leave this place. Like, just disappear, go somewhere else now, because just in case he comes back, anything happens. So they were still there. They were like, and I'm like, these people, just get up and leave, And before we know it, because that's already gone saving her, right? And before we know it, we just saw Nii from behind take that shotgun, and you know what a shotgun does. He took the shotgun and shot at what's it called, Didi. No, he was actually trying to shoot at Gowon, and Didi saw it from behind and then turned around, and then, oh my gosh, that was it. I was like, what? And then she just took the shot. I was teary. I was like, what? No ways. And in my head, from that moment, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a tragedy. It's gonna be a tragedy. We're gonna have like a tragedy ending, So that happened, and then she fell, and then she died, and then Go started crying. But my favorite scene was where he quoted Philippians 4:13. Oh my gosh. And by then he did something to Nii when he heard the shot. And when she died, he just did something, and then he fell. And I think, well, he didn't actually die, because I thought that was it, But what he did actually, like, I don't know, because the thing is, it's tricky, because later we got to see that he didn't die, So I don't know why he still went through combustion. So, but we'll get to that in the 16th. So what happened was, Nii then was out of the picture, okay, unconscious again, because I thought he died. That was the second time. So he quoted Philippians 4:13. He was like, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I was like, oh my gosh, my favorite verse. But anyways, he did that, and then tried to resurrect what's it called, Didi, and she came back to life. And when she came back to life, he then died, and then he went through that combustion. So I think two things that he's not allowed to do is to kill a human being or bring someone back to life. I think that's the second one. And then, he just kind of that's it. He just went away, and then Didi started crying like, oh no, you saved me again, And then obviously fast forward to episode 16, was where we saw that she was getting through the death of Gowon. So now episode 16 was obviously everybody knew that Gowon died, so everyone was just going through that grief and just trying to get over it. And then the cousin, who was Joe, was there for her, and it was just all of that at the very beginning of episode 16, only for us to see Okay, before that, so we saw her go to obviously the beach, okay, where they've been together before, and then we just saw her making a wish, and before we knew it, Goon came back, okay, which was very like, how? Okay, so we found out later that God, who was the woman, okay, the supernatural woman, that obviously it was that woman that gave Gowan the chance to live again, because they made a deal back then in one of the episodes that, you know, a time will come where I would need you, you know, to show up for me, and that deal was to bring him back to life. So he came back to life, and I was so excited. I was like, okay, this is gonna be a happy ending. Okay, so he came back, and then everything went back to normal. Everybody was happy. And also what we saw in that episode 16, obviously this was the final episode, we saw that the cousin then became the CEO, because obviously you guys know Dee was meant to be the CEO, but I think I like what they did there as well, that they didn't make Dee, because I feel like some people will still have the reservation not being the actual child of the chairwoman. So I think it made sense for the cousin to become the CEO. So she was happy about it. She was like, oh, that's fine, that's not a problem. But then we saw that No did not die. That man was killed 3 times. Okay, so he didn't die, but we saw that obviously he lost like the whole part of his face, burnt, blind, all of that. He wasn't even himself. He looked really like weird and just really bad. Okay, and then obviously he went in jail. Didi went to see No where he was in jail, and you know they were talking, and then he was like, I'm gonna kill you. And then obviously what actually got him angry was when he heard that Gowon came back to life, because for him it was more like, you know what, I don't mind being in jail, but as long as that man that has been saving you is dead. And then Didi was like, no, he's still very much alive, right in your face. And then he was like, no way, you know. So that got him really like crazy, and he was like throwing himself everywhere again. And then the police, they came, they took him away. So, and then the other part of the end was just obviously the girl that Gowon helped, the little girl, which obviously was staying with Gowon the whole time, and then she was doing this dancing, the sword dancing and everything, and she wanted to leave the country. At a point the girl was just getting on my nerves, because I'm like, girl, why are you in the way? Why are you in the way of these 2 people? But obviously that's the part she's meant to play. Okay, so she was meant to leave the country, and then after a while she realized there was something she had to do, which is be a help, you know, be a voice for people who's been abused by their parents. She then decided, you know what, I'm not gonna leave, I'm gonna stay, and then I'm gonna do this, which was really nice, because as much as I wanted her to just leave and just go and not be in the way of Didi and Gowon, you know, she made the right choice of staying, and she's like, you know what, it's fine, I'm not gonna be an obstacle any longer, you know. So I really like that. So I think the final scene was just showing Didi and Gowon, you know, just, you know, having fun, living life. I think it's such a good ending. To be honest, as much as I predicted a lot of things that happened, it was a very good ending. I liked what they did with it. They didn't do like any unnecessary prolonged scenes, which is very good. And you know, when it comes to like movies like with 16 episodes, it's like, you know, they want to rush it, but at the same time they want to give you the right scenes, they want to do the right thing. So I really like that episode 15 and 16 really gave what it was supposed to give. Okay, they didn't make us feel like it needed a part 2. You know, there's some K-series you watch and then you're just like, the end is not it, but this was just a perfect ending. I would definitely rate it. I'm so picky with my 10s. I don't like giving 10 over 10. I'll give it a 9.9. That's more like a 10, but it's worth a watch. Okay, you definitely want to go check it out. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I know this review or this recap, you might get lost with this recap if you're not following it, if you've not been watching it, but it's something you definitely want to go check. Watch my first video and watch this one second, and then see if you want to, you know, give a go. But it's worth it, and it's just 16 episodes. You guys know back in the day they used to do like 30, 40, 50. I've watched a series that was like 70 episodes. I think they're more of Chinese series, but 70 episodes, and I watched it till the end, and it was worth it. You just need to be patient. But I really like that a lot of the kid series now, the dramas, they're actually 16. Most of them are 16, which is really good. So it's like, you know, you can definitely binge watch and then get it out of the way, and it would be worth it. So definitely check it out. Okay, if you haven't seen it yet, I hope you enjoy this recap. I think for me personally, what I really learned from this movie, as much as, you know, it's like a K-drama, I think for me being a Christian, I think there's also, and if you're watching, if you're a Christian as well, this might sound cliche to some of y'all, but I think it just kind of shows you, you know, the good, the bad, and which tells more about how whatever comes from the devil does not last, you know. And obviously if you're a Christian, you would know that already. Like, if the devil is presenting something to you that is so nice, so glamorous and all of that, they never last, and he would always get something in return. The key thing to note is just do good, follow good. Okay, that part of the drama, you know, I got really connected in that aspect, and I think that applies to us, you know, and also life in general, you know, just how to navigate life or navigate your walk with God, but knowing that you do not take anything from the devil, you do not pay attention to what the devil says, you do not pay attention to what the devil is presenting to you. You look away. Okay, you say no, you look away. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Let me know what you think down below. There's actually a new drama going on right now. It's called Captivating King. I'm gonna leave some details in the description just in case you want to check that out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you all in my next one. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Was the ending up to your expectation? I think for me it was. Like I said, I'm gonna give it a 9.9. So let me know what you think down below, and I will catch you all in my next one. Thank you for watching, and bye.